Welcome back, and it's still Newsweek, where we discuss the biggest stories that made the headlines in the week. Now let's take you to Asaba, the Delta State capital, where the second Niger Bridge was on Thursday opened temporarily to vehicular movement for eastern-bound travelers to ease the usual congestion of traffic at this festive period. Though the roads are delayed due to some adjustment on the bypass leading to bridge, travelers who apply the road to express joy for the long-awaited second Niger Bridge. Ikenna Mechi reports.
And even journalists waited at the Asaba end of the bridge till about few minutes before 10 a.m. when the first set of vehicles were given access to the 1.6-kilometer bridge. Sunday, traveling to Owerri, is the first person to drive through the second Niger Bridge.
I feel so happy, at least to reduce the hold-up. We stayed over 1 hour at the other bridge, over 1 hour.
For me, it's a thing of joy, today it's a reality, though it's not 100% completed. So far, what we're seeing is impressive. And we commend the present administration, and we hope they complete it before, based on the time frame they have given.
This opening is a temporary measure to ease traffic on the old Niger Bridge, as some restrictions are already in place at the bypass road used for accessing the new bridge, which now allows eastern-bound travelers to go through to cities in Imo, Rivers, Abia, Akwa Ibom, and Cross River states.
As you can see now, we are enjoying the road, but we are begging Buhari to complete the second one, the third one. Yeah, I hear that this is first one, second one, so we have let them complete the third one and the fourth one. That's what we are begging. There is too much queue in their side, but when I reach Tipa Junction, they told me to divert and take the new bridge. So it's okay. It's okay.
Well, it has been horrible there. There's a lot of the hold-up is very tight.
The second Niger Bridge and its link roads, which was started in 2018, stretched to about 46.9 kilometers, connecting Asaba to Onitsha, and when fully completed, will eliminate gridlock at the old Niger Bridge. Ikenna Amechi, TVC News, Asaba.
Well, joining me via Zoom, I have renowned economist, Professor Ken Ife, and in the studio I still have public affairs analyst, Nii Saliu. Thank you for joining us, Professor.
Well, thank you for having me. But can you raise your voice, please? I can't hear you.
All right. Okay. So it's been years of consistent funding and construction that saw past administration not really doing much, but has now been completed by Muhammad Buhari. How significant is this bridge to the region?
I think it's very significant. I mean, for the majority of the people in those two regions, Southeast and South-South, is a dream come true. It's been the fulfillment of many, many years of promises. And I think it's a good Christmas hamper for people of those two regions.
All right. The second Niger Bridge has been on the drawing board since 1976 until construction commenced on September 1st, 2018. Why do you think it took so long?
Well, the thing is funding. Because I remember one of the meetings I had with the CEO of the Nigeria Sovereign Investment Fund at the time, I think like a year or two ago, he was telling me about this funding gap. The fact that the federal government was meant to bring in 100 billion naira as their own counterpart, and they were only able to accommodate, I think, 1 or 2 billion in that particular fiscal year. And he was like, how long is it going to take before we could get all that money? So, I'm so happy that eventually they found a way of getting this project, the funding gap redeemed. So it's really very, very interesting. And we thank God that this has happened. Economically, it's going to have massive impact. The level of inflation that we would have expected in the east and southwest because of the knock-on effect of high transportation costs and people spending as long as 2 days just coming from Lagos to those areas would come down significantly. So I think we will see even an expansion of the economies of the southeast and south-south because of the opening of this trunk infrastructure. And there are many more things, because when this opens up, it means that some of the industries in those vicinities will be revived, because that means the demand. And remember, it's a two-way flow of traffic. A lot of their goods will be heading down southwest, and of course, some are meant for export as well. So it's going to be mutually beneficial. Food have to go over to those sites as well as manufactured goods. So both ways, you have enormous economic gain by completing this road.
All right, as well, Fashola described the bridge as one of the poverty reduction index achieved by the Buhari administration. Do you agree?
Sorry, I didn't quite get the question. Please, can you raise your voice?
So I'm saying that Fashola also said that this bridge is one of the major poverty reduction index achieved by the present administration. Do you agree with that?
Well, every little helps. I mean, when you talk about poverty reduction, there's so many things that can contribute to poverty reduction. The classical one is when people are encouraged now to invest, because the biggest obstacle, the highest input cost is coming from transportation, infrastructure, as well as power. But when you are now beginning to get on top of that, it means that people are going to be encouraged to invest, and those who have invested will experience lower input costs. And that means they are able to employ people. When you employ people, you pay them income, and then they have disposable income. And with that disposable income, they can pay for education, health, and poverty reduction. So that's the link with poverty, reducing poverty. A sustainable link. It's different from handout. When government gives you a handout, it's not a sustainable way of reducing poverty. This is an economic, inclusive methodology for generating wealth and then sustainably removing poverty, reducing poverty. I think he's right.
All right, Professor, let me come to you now, Niyi. What do you think? What's your thought on this whole development?
Well, it's good for the people in the region. You know, it also links a lot of, communities and states. And it's been on the board for a long time. I think it was first mooted by the government, by the candidate Shehu Shagari, when he was campaigning for office. And a lot of governments have come after that. None of them. So we must commend the political will. Besides funding, there's need for political will behind any project that someone, sees to completion. So we must commend the present government for taking the initiative, making the funding available, and putting their political will behind it. And it's good. It's not just the bridge. They've also, constructed some adjoining roads, about 10.3 kilometer roads, in addition to that. And that will improve business a lot along that region. It's going to improve commercial activities, improve local commercial activities, and it will aid transportation, especially from local production in that area to cities, and of course, it will bring down price of goods and services.